Please enjoy this excerpt from Aubrey and the New Fox, a children's intermediate reader by Geraldo Diego. Chapter 1. Aubrey's Perfect World. In the heart of Willowwood Forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the streams giggled over smooth stones, lived a fox kit named Aubrey. Her fur was a fiery reddish-brown, kissed by the sun, with a snowy white tip on her bushy tail that danced like a feather in the wind. She lived in a den carved into a gentle hillside, its entrance framed by twisting roots and its floor cushioned with moss and soft feathers her parents had gathered over many moons. Aubrey adored her life. Every day was an adventure waiting to unfold. On mornings when the dew still clung to the ferns, she'd race through the meadow, her paws barely touching the ground as she chased butterflies. Their wings shimmered in the sunlight, and she'd leap, twist, and pounce, laughing when they fluttered just out of reach. Other days, she'd follow her father, a sturdy fox with a grizzled muzzle and a twinkle in his eye, as he taught her to stalk crickets.
Listen, Aubrey.
He'd say, his voice low and steady.
The forest hums with clues if you're quiet enough to hear.
She'd crouch beside him, ears twitching, until she sprang, pinning a cricket beneath her paws with a triumphant yip. At night, she'd curl up beside her mother, whose fur was soft as a summer cloud. Her mother would hum a gentle tune, a melody that wrapped around Aubrey like a warm breeze, and tell her stories of clever foxes outsmarting hawks or finding hidden treasures beneath the oaks.
"You're my brave little kit,"
her mother would murmur, nuzzling her snout against Aubrey's forehead. Aubrey would drift to sleep, dreaming of grand adventures where she was the hero. Everything felt perfect, until one crisp afternoon when the air smelled of falling leaves and change. Aubrey bounded into the den, her tail wagging from a morning of chasing shadows, and found her parents waiting. Her mother sat with a quiet smile, her golden eyes softer than usual, while her father's tail thumped the ground in a slow, thoughtful rhythm.
"Aubrey,"
her mother began, her voice warm but laced with something new.
"you're going to have a baby brother soon."
Aubrey froze mid-step, one paw hovering above the moss.
"A brother?"
she echoed, tilting her head so sharply her ears flopped. The word felt strange in her mouth, like a pebble she wasn't sure how to swallow. Her father chuckled, a deep rumble that usually made her giggle, and ruffled the fur between her ears.
That's right, little one. He'll be here before the leaves finish falling and the frost settles in.
Aubrey blinked, her golden eyes darting between them. A brother. She'd seen other fox families in the forest, kits tumbling over each other, yipping and nipping, their parents bustling to keep up. But she'd always been the only kit in her den, the center of her parents' world. What did a brother mean? Why not a sister? Someone who'd understand her games and her favorite sunlit napping spots. Her tail drooped slightly as a tangle of thoughts sprouted in her mind. Would she have to share her mother's stories, her father's lessons, her perfect little life? She nodded at her parents, forcing a small smile, but inside, her heart thumped like a rabbit's foot against the earth. That night, as the crickets chirped a lullaby outside, Aubrey lay awake on her mossy bed. The den was quiet, save for her parents' soft breathing, but her mind buzzed louder than a beehive. A brother, she thought, staring at the shadows flickering on the den's walls. How will he change everything?
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe or follow. Turn on notifications to hear more excerpts from stories by Geraldo Diego.